Let's make oatmeal raisin cookies. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. This is gonna be fun. Let me show you guys first of all what we're gonna need, all right? In this bowl, I have 1 cup of regular white sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar, and you could use the light or the dark. I actually have it kind of infused with both because I kind of ran out. I had to go get some more. This is a cup of butter. You can use margarine, but I hate using margarine when it comes to baking stuff, all right? This is a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. I've got like a cup of oatmeal flakes, the uncooked one, and it's the minute one, the one that you cook real quick. This is a cup of raisins. And in here I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda plus 1 teaspoon of salt. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. It's not sifted. You can sift it if you want. And I've got here a couple of eggs. That's all we're going to need. And the tools that we're going to need is a hand mixer or a stand mixer. I would advise you guys to invest in this, okay? This is only like 10 bucks, the cheapest one. And they range, you know, to the high $27, $28. But just buy one of these because you can use it for so many things, all right? So this is what we're going to be doing to make our cookies. So let's get started by dumping all the wet ingredients first into this bowl. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to start with is the sugar, right? We have the 2 sugars in here, and then I'm going to add the butter to the bowl. Very simple. We're going to add the eggs, and we're going to add the extract. So basically all the wet ingredients, right? After putting all the wet ingredients in the bowl, all we want to do is turn on the hand mixer and mix for about, I'd say 3 to 5 minutes. Alright guys, so the reason you beat it that long is not really because you want to get it fluffy like a cake, but you want to make sure that all the brown sugar is mixed in, okay? Because that tends to want to lump up a little bit. So all to do next is to add the dry ingredients. We're going to add the oat flakes and the raisins last. And this is the same recipe that you would use for chocolate chip cookie. And instead of adding the oat flakes and the raisins, you'd be adding chocolate chips. So let's add our salt and baking soda first. And let me go ahead and get that blended in really well. And then what I want to do next is add the flour. And I'm going to add maybe 1/3 of the flour. So you want to use a kind of tall bowl when you're doing this because, you know, when you put on this hand mixer or the stand mixer, the flour will go flying, right? So let's see how we fare off. Not too bad. So that's all you want to do is add the flour in thirds just so you can get it worked in, okay? And you use your spatula to scrape the edges. Whenever you're doing anything with batter or dough, you kind of always want to work it in to make sure everything is getting blended in real well, all right? So let me put another 1/3 of my flour. And of course, you know, I'm not measuring to get the 1/3. I'm just kind of eyeballing too much I'm putting. And what do we do again? We mix. So I've put in the last portion of the flour and take a look at how it looks now. See? It's a real sticky dough. Now, at this point is where you would put your chocolate chips if you were doing chocolate chip cookies. So I'm doing oatmeal raisins, so let's add our oatmeal and our raisins. And we're not going to use the hand mixer anymore, okay? We're just going to fold with the spatula. And before I start doing that, you know what? Let me stop for a moment and set my oven to preheat on 375, I believe. I'll double check that for you. So I paused for a moment and checked Jada's book because this recipe is in Jada's book. And it is 375. We're going to bake it for 10 to 12 minutes, okay? So I put the oven on. It's preheating right now. And I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. And by the way, I sent Jada's book off to the publisher today. So it's going to come back at some point for me to edit it one last time. But it's been a process. But she's got 80 recipes in it. They're fun recipes. They're all Jada's stuff. That's why I didn't put my name on it. And I had to help her load them in the computer. But she told me how she wanted it said and all that stuff. So pretty soon Jada's going to have a fun little book. So this is all there is to it, okay? Make sure that it's mixed in really, really well. And you can stop at some point and get your hands in this too. But when we put it on our greased baking sheet or cookie sheet, we are going to drop it by teaspoons full, okay? We're not going to roll them into balls. You can roll them into balls if you want to, but I'm not going to do that today because I don't want them to look perfect. I want them to look like rough. So I'm like drooling because I love oatmeal raisin cookies, but I'm the only one in the family that likes it. Well, Joe does too. The kids don't really like it. They think it's too healthy. But I don't see how. Look how much sugar went into it, right? Alright, so I've got a little teaspoon, and I'm not using measuring teaspoon, just teaspoon that you would stir your tea or coffee with. And I'm just going to go into the dough, pick up a little bit like that. We don't want them perfect. And I'm going to drop them. Let me show you guys. On a greased baking sheet, just like so. Like I said, you can make yours perfectly round by making them into a ball. And you want them about 2 inches apart, alright? You don't want them too close because they're going to spread out. That's all there is to making these wonderful cookies. They smell good already. Let me get another sheet. So you're going to need quite a bit. This is 12 here already. We're supposed to get 3 dozen. So we're going to need at least 3 of these baking sheets. If not, we're going to have to wait. If you don't have enough, you're going to have to wait for it to be done baking and then put some more in, okay? So let me set that aside and fill the rest of the sheets. And when I come back, I'll be sticking them in the oven. So I can only do 2 at a time because even though I have that 3rd shelf, it really sucks to put the cookies there. They get burnt pretty quick. So I'm going to put another one on the top. And then we're just going to bake them in 2 different batches. Let me get this going. I'll see you guys when they're done. To purchase copies of my book, just visit my website at bearpantryshow.com and click on the store tab. Alright guys, so the whole kitchen is filled with cookies. Now it's time for me to taste. I'm going to be the cookie monster. I'm not going to get Jada to taste these because she hates oatmeal raisin. These are so good. Just in time for you guys for Valentine's. Can you believe that we're rushing up on Valentine's right here? I can't believe it. Of course, you can use this cookie dough. And you can do other stuff like nuts, like macadamia nuts, chopped walnuts. You can drop anything you want to drop in this cookie dough. If you want it to like drop off with a spoon and just kind of lay flat, then use less flour. Use 2.5 instead of 3 cups. If you don't mind it like this, because I don't mind it like this, use the 3 cups, okay? But this is so good. Share it with your neighbors, alright? Don't keep all these 48 cookies or 42, however many you got, and eat them all by yourself. Unless you're going to like store them in a cookie jar and then eat them over time, alright? I'm going to share. When I make these things, I don't eat them all by myself, and I don't feed it here to my family all day long because we want to be healthy, alright? Anyways, thanks so much for watching the show. This one's in Jada's book, and I'm going to let you know when that book's available. If you liked the video, hit like below for me. Share it with your friends and family for me. And until I see you guys again, take care. Please check out my review channel right here on YouTube. It's called Bear Pantry Talk. Also, check out my vlog channel. It's called Babs Bear Talk.